All right, so let's see. What are y'all's advice when it comes to being a conservative libertarian millennial who is in Asheville, North Carolina, known as the San Francisco of the East Coast? My name is Michael, and I'm a mug clubber.
Suicide.
Hey, Michael. No.
I'm joking. YouTube, don't take that seriously, but it is always an option. So I would say,
No.
it's never an option. It's never an option.
We speak for Bill, and you say
Ever. Ever. Never, ever, ever, except for when it is. So what I do think is important to note is at one point, this is something I've changed on. People have said, what have you changed your mind on, because you're so rigid? I've changed my mind on pot. That's something I've changed my mind on. I've talked about this. And not in the sense that I want to foot the bill. Yeah, right now. No, it's not in the sense that I want to foot the bill for stoners who are unproductive. But I do think that right now we need to remove it from the Schedule I substance list because of the CBD issues. And there does seem to be some medical promise for CBD. Right. I always thought the state should have the right to legalize it. But I didn't like the idea of it. If it were in my state, I would vote to legalize it now, but regulated. In other words, people shouldn't be just... Anyway, that's something I've changed my mind on. And then something else that I've changed my mind on. I used to tell people, hey, listen, keep your head down until you are in a position where you can be open about your views, because I don't want anyone losing work, particularly in the entertainment industry. I've changed my opinion on that because you don't have that luxury now. I used to give this advice, maybe going back to 2009, maybe through 2012. We didn't have the kind of landscape that we have today where there is nowhere to hide. If you have ever made a Facebook post, if you have ever put out a tweet, if you have ever released a video, or if you've ever been at a party or gathering or function, 10 people or less, where politics have come up and you've expressed a center-right opinion, you'll never be able to get away from it. Right. And I see people now trying to distance themselves from it, people who I know, who I know in my personal life agree with me. And we spent time together, then go on Twitter trying to say, I've changed my... And I know that they haven't. And I go, I understand why you're doing this, but these people are not going to like you. Yeah. They're never going to be your friends. Yeah. So this is where the change my mind comes in, right? The idea is find the people whose minds you can change, and then the people whose minds you cannot change, make an example of them for the people who are watching. I would say, do the right thing. Right? If you're a libertarian millennial in Asheville, I think he said. By the way, sorry about that. Grand Rapids stole your title, Beer City, USA, I think 4 years in running. So that's just another reason that, you should move to Grand Rapids. That's what I mean. Not taking any drastic measures, but, Grand Rapids. Or, here's what I would say. Do the right thing, but don't be afraid to be the bad guy. Do the right thing, but don't live your whole life afraid of people calling you a bad guy. Because guess what? We've been called a bad guy. Joe Rogan was called a bad guy because he said that a guy who lived his entire life as a man and within the next 6 months and without disclosing it to an athletic commission caved in a woman's orbital might be a bridge too far as it relates to transgender athletes in sports. And he was the bad guy. Don't be afraid of being the bad guy if you're doing the right thing.